Can 3D printing be used for practical means? I'll show you now. How's it, guys? So as you know from my channel, I do a lot of 3D prints and a lot of things on 3D printers, and I absolutely love working with 3D printers. But I have had questions asked me, are they more than ornamental? And absolutely, you can do so many practical prints using a 3D printer. So in front of me here, I've got a couple of examples that I'm going to quickly go through and show you how useful 3D printing can actually be, and you can use it in your day-to-day life to enhance things around your home and just to make your life easier and better. But before we get to that, what do you think of my new studio? So we've upgraded the studio. We had the back wall there and it was a little bit smaller, so now we've managed to give ourselves a little bit more space and things look really great. I've got this new wall that we've just put up here with and it looks so much better. I'm actually so pleased about it and so excited about building this channel, and now we're getting our studio to our next level, so I'm really pleased about it. Let me know in the comments what you think about your studio. So let's get back to these practical prints. So in front of me here, I have a set of practical prints that we've done, and I'm quite excited about sharing this with you guys. So first and foremost, I've got this print here. So this print comes off the build plate like this, straight, one-shot print. There's nothing to be put together. It is printed flat down with the face down like this, and when you pull it off your print board plate, you'll see that immediately it starts to move. Now, this is what's called an in-place print, and everything is printed in one shot. Now, what this does is really useful. If you've got a PC board that you need to solder, you can just open up the teeth, and it will hold your PC board in place for you to solder. And it is such a practical, useful print that I use it all the time now to solder my boards. I used to use the holding hands with the crocodile clips. That didn't work that well. This works so much better. So this is my first practical print. So yeah, the next print is a in-place hinge. Now, I love in-place printing because it is quite exciting. When you pull this off the build plate, this prints as one piece. You pull it off the build plate, flex it a little bit, and you've got a working hinge. Now, I will show you a little video right now of a hinge that I use this to print off two hinges. We got a new kitten that we found in the bottom of our garden. It's a feral cat that we rescued, and we wanted to bring it into our home, but it took about a month to get it out from the bottom of the garden and get it to trust us enough and to bring it into our home. So we brought it into the home, and I've been having it in my office, putting a litter box there, feeding it there, and just keeping it happy. A little girl kitten, black, absolutely gorgeous little thing. But I didn't want it to go outside yet. So I made a temporary door. Guys, I had pieces of wood lying around. It took me 5 minutes to make this door. Quickly put it together, assembled it, and then put it up. And now I didn't have hinges, and I wanted to get going. So 2 hours later, well, 2 batches of 2 hours later, each hinge took 2 hours to print. I printed 2 sets of hinges, screwed them in. I wanted to put this hinge up, but I didn't have any of these wall plugs. These are the drywall screws that you screw into the drywall, gives them extra strength. So I went on to Thingiverse, had a search, and lo and behold, here we go. This is printed out in PLA. Would have been better to print it in PETG, but guys, it worked. I drilled a pilot hole and I cut this into the drywall, and I put a screw in from it, and it's still holding strong. I've had that door up now for a couple of weeks now, and we use it every single day to keep the kitten inside. Although we have let her out now, she's now free to run around and doing really well. So I'll try to post a quick picture of her here. That's that one. Next one is, I've got a whole set of these drawers in my office where I store things like cable ties and screws and all that sort of thing. And a lot of them had these little tabs broken off. I've got about 120 of these drawers, and maybe 30 of them or so have these tabs broken off. So what I did is I went into Thingiverse and I quickly sketched this up. Took me a few minutes, and it slides into where the paper slot is here, and now my drawer has got a little handle that I can open the drawer with again. So rather than throwing this one away, Just fixed it by putting this on there, and I've got a nice drawback. Speaking about the drawers, I have a few drawers with M3, M4, M5, and M6 screws, and they're 4 3D printers, so that when I have to fix something, I've always got a set of screws handy. That came in very useful when I fixed the fan on my printer. And this is what my screw box looks like. Okay, I've got packets of screws all marked, but it is such a mess. It is so difficult to find what I want. So I went onto Fusion 360. I sketched this up, made this. I've made little cutouts here so it fits. And here we go. This is what we've got. So now we've got 3 trays of screws, of the M3 screws, all nicely laid out. Each one has got its own compartment where the screws lie, the washers, the bolts, the nuts and the washers there. And then there's some more and another set. And each one is in their own compartment, and I can I just store this in here nicely. And when I need M3 screws, I'll pull these out, pull the trays out, and away we go. I've got my M3 screws. So that is neatened up from this mess to this, and it's just such a difference. Really, it has made such a difference. Speaking of trays, this is a little tray that DIY Electronics sketched up, and very, very useful when you're fixing a printer. You can put your screws over here, your tools over here, your Allen keys, and really useful. I've printed up a couple of them. They stack on top of each other. Really useful and nice to have when you're working on your 3D printer. I have also printed a lot of items for our bathroom. Now, this here is a toothbrush holder. I don't want you to see that part yet, so we'll just do that. We'll just try hide that away. Okay, so here's my Braun toothbrush. This hooks into here like that. Okay, keeps it nice and clean, keeps it safe, keeps it off a surface, and nice, and it dries out very quickly. So we printed out a few of these for our toothbrushes at home, and it's made a huge difference. These used to lie on the table, and I hated that because it's not hygienic, so we have to wash them properly before we use them. So having this in our bathroom, I've just stuck it on the wall with double-sided tape, and now I've got these hanging in our bathroom. I've also got a toothpaste squeezer, which I didn't bring up. That was printed in PETG, where you just get every last drop of toothpaste out, and it's just a dream to have. And then finally for this segment, we went away recently just for the weekend, just to get away. And I've always hated with these toothbrushes, or any toothbrush for that matter, where you just take the toothbrush, throw it into a plastic bag, okay, with other toothbrushes and toothpaste and brushes and things like that, and off you go. It's not hygienic, it's not clean. So just before we went, now when I say just before, on the night before we went, I printed up 4 of the tubes, and in the morning before we left, I printed up the holders. So these are the tubes, and this is the base. So went on to Thingiverse, found this file. My Braun toothbrush clicks in like that. You take this and you screw it closed. Beautiful thread there that just threads so beautifully, and there we go. We've each got one, and D for dad, M for mom, and then we got the 2 kids ones. We got their ones inside these tubes as well. So when we travel now, we'll just dump it into these. These go into a bag, keeps our toothbrushes separate, nice and clean, nice and hygienic. So really, I love this print. This is possibly one of my favorite prints that I've done recently. It just highlighted how quickly I can just go in and do a print, find an item online, do the print up for them, we pack it up and go, and we're ready to use it. Guys, there are so many more examples of 3D printing, things that you can do for useful. If you look at this picture I'm showing you now, this is my entire tool wall, organized with every little piece there being held on by 3D printed parts on a pegboard, and it is super, super useful. I've always had that problem where I need a tool and I'll run around, I'll try to remember where I had it last, and I would go and run around hunting for tools and parts and screws and all these kind of things. And then eventually the one day I just said, I've had enough, and I'm going to start sorting things out, and I haven't regretted it. Today I needed some screwdrivers. I went straight to my tool wall, pulled out the screwdrivers I needed, used them, took them back, put them back on the wall, and away we go. So just stunning to have that flexibility that we can, you get an idea, go with the idea, print something like this tray of screw holders. This is to be stunning. So yeah, and repurpose things, fixing drawers that are broken. I just love this, So guys, go look at Thingiverse, go look at Yegi, go look on all of those search engines for different 3D designs and things like that. Guys, that's it for this video. Please subscribe to this channel. We're growing beautifully. It's nice to see all those people subscribing. Thank you to my subscribers. And guys, just keep subscribe to the channel. New videos coming out shortly. I did a video on Octoprint, which was supposed to be my next video. I recorded it 3 times and I'm still not quite there. So as soon as I get that video done, I will publish it and I'll upload it. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check it out and also give me a comment on what you think of our studio upgrade here. Take care, God bless, and see you soon.